back on our class on purposive communication. We are now on chapter 6, communication for various purposes. Before we start, let's try to look at this. For our learning outcomes, at the end of this chapter, you are expected to A. Convey ideas through oral, audiovisual, and or web-based presentations for different target audiences in local and global settings using appropriate registers. B. Create clear, coherent, and effective communication materials. C. Present ideas persuasively using appropriate language, registers, tone, facial expressions, and gestures. And lastly, adopt awareness of audience and context in presenting ideas. Let us now start. Why do we communicate? That has been our ultimate question. Why do we communicate? Generally speaking, people communicate to inform, to persuade, and to argue, having an aim in what defines communication with a purpose. While this might sound simple enough in theory, it is the application that becomes rather complex since there are many considerations that can come into play. Previous discussions, we already have said why it is complex. Okay? Why is it complex? Now, let's try to look at the different considerations in communicating. The first consideration is the purpose. When we speak of purpose is when we try to communicate, we have to ask, why do you want or need to communicate? It's a better strategy, however, is to determine the purpose. Why do you need to communicate? There are two communication purposes. The first purpose is to obtain or provide, disseminate information. Okay, so we already have said that when we try to define communication, we have mentioned that it is the exchange or the sharing of information between two parties. That means to say, when we try to communicate, we are giving information. We are giving on information. We are providing information. That's the very purpose of communication. The other one is to persuade or to argue. When we try to communicate, right, when we try to communicate with others, looking at the um, second purpose, to persuade or to argue, means we have this purpose of influencing others. Okay, that means to say when we communicate, our aim is to influence, okay? Influence others in their beliefs, values, attitudes, and behaviors, and those whom we are communicating to. And this can only be achieved if we have the presence of the three components. That is the claim, the evidence, and the warrant. When you speak of the claim, that means to say your statement should be accepted by your audience. Okay? And when you speak of evidence, that means to say when you say something, you have to show evidence. You have to show proof. Right? It has to be supported by proof. Your claim should be supported by proof. Okay? And the last one is warrant. Okay? That means to say there is a underlying justification between um, connecting the claim and your evidence. Okay? Yeah. Um, that's it. Okay. Apart from purpose, we also have audience. Okay. Another consideration is your audience. Who is going to receive your message? Who will listen to your message. Okay, you have to take into consideration because sometimes knowing your audience would give you a clearer and better way to explain your, say for example, or your message. Okay, the next one is message structure. It's always important that when you try to look at the message structure, you have to ask, how are you going to convey your message? Okay? There are two ways you can use, the direct and the indirect approach. When you speak of direct approach, it means it is deductive. This means that you state your main idea first, then follow it up with supporting statements. The other one is the indirect approach or the inductive. This means that you start your message with a background and lead your audience to the main idea. Okay, so this is the traditional approach that we sometimes use or we sometimes observe to, from the speakers. Okay, this is if you want to establish a common ground with your audience first. So that's message structure. And the last one is channel. Okay, channel. Um, After creating the message, you now have to choose an appropriate channel to send it through. Okay, will it be written or verbal? Okay, if it's verbal, will it be face to face, through telephone, video conference, or what? No, you have to remember the channel you choose has a large impact on the effectiveness of your message. That is why it is important to consider its appropriateness. With that, I hope you learned something with our very brief discussion. This is just part A of the entire chapter. Again, thank you very much, and I hope you learned something with this short presentation.